Hello everyone, this is the second part of Spawn Tower. In this video we will prohibit players from adding towers on specific parts of the map. Also, disabling the tower buttons once the players spawn all towers in the map. Let's start by creating a script called Silhouette Trigger. Now open the script. First declare a public static silhouette trigger variable called instance. Next, declare a sprite renderer variable called sRenderer. Declare another variable, this time is a color variable called warning color. Next, declare a private boolean variable called canSpawn. And lastly declare another color variable called baseColor. Now, add an awake function, and inside the awake function, assign this script to the instance variable. Next, on the start function, assign the color of sRenderer variable to the baseColor. Next, create a function called getCanSpawn with boolean as return value. Here we simply just return the value of canSpawn variable. Now add on trigger stay2d, and add an if statement. We have to check if the silhouette game object collide with a game object with a tag called prohibited or tower. If this is true, then players should not be able to spawn any tower in the map. Also change the sRenderer color to warning color variable. This will visually tell the player that they can't place a tower. Next, add on trigger exit2d, and add the same if statement. If the tower silhouette exit a collision, then this means the player can place a tower to the map. Change canSpawn value to true, and bring back the base color of tower silhouette. Now back to Unity. First, select the tower silhouette game object, and assign the silhouette trigger script. Now, add the sprite renderer of tower silhouette to the sRenderer variable. Also pick a color for the warning color variable, I will choose red, and don't forget the alpha value. Add a box collider, and enable isTrigger. Also add a rigid body 2D, and change the gravity value to 0. Next, select the map game object, and add a polygon collider 2D, and enable isTrigger. I will also adjust the color of the map because it's kinda hard to see the collider. Now just click Edit Collider, hover on the collider and drag the points. We want to cover the road, because we don't want players to put towers inside the road. I will disable the canvas for the meantime, because it's blocking the map. Bring back the color of the map. Also add a tag called prohibited and assign it to the map. Next, go to the prefab folder, open one of the tower prefab, and add a box collider. Then enable trigger. Next, create another tag, and name it as tower, since that is what we put on the script. Repeat the same thing to other tower prefab. Assign the tower tag. Add a box collider, and enable is trigger. Now let's test. As you can see, we can't place a tower on the road anymore. Next, what we are going to do, is disable the tower buttons, once all towers are placed in the map. Open the Spawn Tower script. First add a namespace. UnityEngine.ui. Then declare a serialize field, array button variable called, tower buttons. This is where we will assign, the 3 buttons in the scene later. Next, declare a private integer variable called, tower picked. Scroll down to the add tower function. We have to change, and add a few things in this function. First we will add a mechanic where players can cancel adding a tower. Add an if statement, and this if statement will check, if a player clicked the right mouse button. If this is true, then we simply remove, the sprite from the silhouette. Next, before the for loop, add an if statement. This if statement the value of can spawn, from the silhouette trigger script. Also, inside the new if statement, before the for loop, declare a local boolean variable called, tower placed. And an integer local variable called, number towers active. Next, inside the tower to spawn if statement, add another if statement and put the 4 lines of code inside. This if statement will check if a tower, is already placed in the map. Remove the break statement, and replace it with tower placed is equals to true. The reason why we remove the break statement, is because we don't want to break the loop, so that we can check, how many towers is active in the map. This is where we will use, the number towers active variable. Add an else statement, and inside increment the number towers active variable. Next, after the loop add an if statement, this time, we will check if number towers active, is greater than or equals to, the length of tower to spawn, -1. If this is true, then disable the tower button depending on what the player picked. You can disable a button, by turning interactable property to false. Now back to Unity Editor, select the game object, that holds the spawn tower script. Lock the inspector, so we can easily assign arrays. Next, assign all tower buttons, to the tower buttons array variable. Simply select all buttons, and drag and drop them to the variable. Also, go back to the map game object, and let's add more polygon collider. This time for the top and bottom side of the map. As you can see, we have plants in this area, and we don't want players to place towers here. So just simply add polygon collider, and readjust the points. All we need is test the game. As you can see, we can't add a tower on some parts of the map. And that is all for this video. Thank you for watching.